Comes out of pain is it's a certain type of hidden fire.
He's a world-renowned muralist. He's a mentor to so many young artists. Is a man who never fit in the box that the world thought he should fit in. But he turned that into something so powerful.
I was fighting as a black man. I was fighting as a father. There were so many things I had to bury. You had to work hard. You didn't show your emotions. You didn't write about them. Even when you were hurt, you couldn't cry. Being a creative, being poetry, painting on people's clothing, all that. When guys, my peers came around, that was kind of like frowned upon. I kind of kept that hidden. I was ashamed of Adonis because I connected that with art. I was trying to shy away from that. Once I accepted my name, certain people started looking at me different. There's certain things that you have to face alone and accept. I would rather take the road less traveled. God was stripping the negative away from me, and I was holding on to it. And I'm thinking that was my lifeline. When I was actually holding poison, he made me stronger by stripping me facing my fears and my insecurities and anxieties. You have to realize that you are a human being with the word before you become a superhero. And I'll say this, the worst lie you can tell is the one you tell yourself. And the lie I told myself was like, oh man.
Shame is something that I believe all of us have experienced. We may not recognize that whatever undeserved shame may be the source of our superpower.
I'm Suzan McDowell.
I am Teri Williams. I am the great-grandchild of my honey, and you're watching Who's Your My Honey? Today on Who's Your My Honey is a man who never fit in the box that the world thought he should fit in. But he turned that into something so powerful, so amazing. He's a world-renowned muralist. He's an artist in residence at One United Bank. He's a mentor to so many young artists. He's been a teacher to kids. He loves kids. And more than that, he is Suzan and my friend.
Yes, we love him.
We love him. Today we have Addonis Parker. Years ago, you asked me a question.
Mm-hmm.
You asked me, who am I?
Yes.
And I actually thought I answered it several times, and you kept asking me. And finally, I thought about the question differently, and it took me back to when I was a child. Why did you keep asking me that question? Why wasn't my answer sufficient when I said I went to Brown and Harvard Business School? Why did you keep asking me? Do you remember, first of all?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember where we were?
Yes, I do.
Where were we?
I don't remember. It was at my studio.
Is that your studio?
It was at my studio.
The one in Liberty City.
Exactly, yes. And the reason why I asked that question is because I knew from the road to success is always lonely, but I knew your road, it had to be somewhere in the DNA that there was somebody that put in work, had the same motor skill and desire, stick-to-itiveness. I knew that. But I'm not saying your immediate family wasn't important, but I knew it had to be a lineage and a legacy somewhere, and that's why I asked you, because it had to be somebody. And that's what was important to me at the time, because I was, doing my own research on the bank and who you were, and that's what was important to me, because I know my road. I know how difficult it was to just, climb the ladder of, if quote unquote, success. But then it's like, I look back and I was trying to find another me. If there was another Adonis, not named Adonis, but had the same ambition. So that's why I asked you. Yeah.
So from that question, I discovered my great-grandmother, my honey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sort of turn the question around and ask you, who is your my honey? And what I mean by that is there someone, some place, something in your life that you were ashamed of, or people tried to make you feel ashamed? Maybe you even ingested that shame, but you can see today is actually your superpower.
I think the whole aspect as far as being a creative. When I came up, it was either work, you had to work hard. If you're in school, you played sports, that was the more manly thing to do. You didn't show your emotions, you didn't write about them, and uh, even when you were hurt, you couldn't cry. You know what I mean? So I think if I had to say what was a part of Adonis, then that, you know, outside was, I'll say my art, being a creative, being, poetry. I was doing a lot of that. I was, painting on, people's clothing, all that. And I remember my ninth grade year, I had a couple people like, yo, man, they wanted me to do the art thing, but it was like when guys, my peers came around, that was kind of like frowned upon. They wouldn't tell me, but they was like, he, not right now. You gotta just talk football, basketball, all that. I played all the sports, very good at it. But it was like art, poetry, I kind of kept that hidden. You know what I mean? I didn't, yeah.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you can't tell from you sitting here, but what are you, like 6'6" or something like that? And you played sports.
Football and basketball, yeah.
Football and basketball. You actually
At 6?
Hmm?
At 6.
You saying at 6 years old?
Yeah.
Or?
No.
Were you 6'6" at 6? No.
No.
Kidding.
I was full. No, at 6 years old, that's when I first started with the art, that's
At
when
6?
art, yeah. I think God was talking to me earlier than that, but I think when I say, I can truly say when I was touched, if you want to say it like that, it was 6. I was sitting on the back porch, and it was around my birthday. My birthday is around Halloween. My mom had a sketchpad. It has, like, Halloween characters, pumpkin and all that stuff on it. And I sat on the back porch, and I had one of those big pencils. You remember those real big pencils? And my mom gave it to me, and because she knew I was drawing on everything. I sat on the porch, and to this day I can see it. When I opened the drawing pad, the light from the sun, it was like, like that. When ever since then, I was never the same from that. And I remember that's what I did. And I'm not saying I'm a superhero or nothing like that, but that day changed me. I didn't even touch, I just had the pencil in my hand, but I opened it was so bright, and it hit me, and I was like, and I always wanted to have, maybe I'm chasing that feeling, after all these years. I'm 53 now, and I was 6 years old. And I was like, okay, I know a lot of time has passed between that time, but it's like I can't, even sometimes when I sit down, I could be at a grocery store, anywhere. My mind is talking about colors. I can see all the colors in the room. I can see the fabric that's on top of the fabric that's intertwined. Before I even sit down, I already recorded everything in the room. So I don't even know how that, I could even explain that, what I just said. But before there was an AI, I was a walking AI, So just
Adonis intelligence.
Well,
Not artificial intelligence,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Adonis intelligence.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well,
Yeah.
you start to use that for money. Yeah.
You should patent it.
I will.
Trademark it.
It's done.
Get
right
the website.
Now. Right.
Okay.
I'm curious so you were being pushed to do sports, or did you
Yeah.
love sports too?
I love sports too. This is the thing. What was crazy about it is that I was type of very quiet guy, but I was aggressive. This is the weird, I know it's gonna sound crazy. Before the games, I had tons of friends. Everybody loved to be around me because I was quiet. I was very shy. A lot of people didn't know that. But when you put the helmet on, nobody can see you. I become invisible. That's when the villain comes out.
So you could be a different person.
Right. And that's why a lot of times, I remember I used to hate when I played basketball, the gym's packed. I had to figure out how I could block the people out and then concentrate on the game without me getting nervous. It was a couple times that I was in the game, the guy threw the ball up, and I know I could have, jumped, and I was missing a dunk. But what happened, it was like the crowd, I could see everybody's face. Because see, I'm an artist. I could see a guy whispering over here, the baby's crying, all I could see it all at one time.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had to adjust to that. I said, okay, how do I block people out? And then that's where art came in. Again, I could sit there, people talking, I could hear the rain hit the windowsill, cars blowing their horns. dog barking. I can hear like little, birds, hummingbirds like Ray Charles. But all of that is happening, at the same time, in real time.
Yeah.
And I could block it out if I was concentrating on painting, or, on something.
It helped you focus.
Right. I could go for I'm not even lying, about 48 hours because I've done it without eating, drinking, playing a little music. I have a thing on loop, and I'm just, especially if I have a subject matter that I'm captured in, no talking on the phone. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So when you were in sports, and like you said, there was something about, I guess my question is, do you feel like you were ashamed to be an artist?
Yeah.
Or?
Well, I'm not saying ashamed, but your peers sometimes, and I'm finding out now, because I'm an adult, but a lot of times when you can do different things, they become jealous. So, and they want you kind of to be, and not to take away from anybody, but they want you to be on the same level they are. And not to say their level is bad. It's just, you're just different. And I had to accept that I was different. It's okay to be, play sports and still be an artist and still write poetry. And it's not even having almost like a soft side to it, but it's a side that I have to identify because God put it in me.
You think you were ashamed to be an artist?
Yes, I was, because it was like, okay, what am I doing? I'm a big dude. I paint pretty pictures and, and happy pictures. And it's like, they approached me. They didn't say it was, nothing condescending, but it was kind of like on the slick side. Oh, what you're going to do? You go home and paint? Oh, your flowers or whatever.
Meanwhile, you're like, yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Well, or did you say that, or did you sort of like try to hide it?
Yeah, I was like, nah, I ain't doing that. No, I'm good.
Yeah, you hit it.
Yeah, I was telling.
Because that's what you do,
yeah.
right? I mean, it's like me. I didn't say I was from Indiantown for years. So you just said, okay, I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah. Middle school, it kind of worked because I was like, during the holidays, I could draw, paint or draw on their clothing. I was making Valentine's Day cards, and I was very successful with that. There's a little money, $5 here, $2 here, and it all adds up. But as you get older, and my body was changing too. So I was becoming to look like a machine. You know what I mean? So sometimes people they want you to be who they think you should be when you're actually somebody else. Like, yes, I could knock somebody's head off on the field, but then I could come in, I could hold a baby. You know what I mean? Because I was doing that too,
So at what point did you just say, okay, I'm an artist? Like, at what point in your life did you just say, okay, I'm an artist. I'm going to own this person that I maybe have always been since I was 6. Discovered it when I was 6. You were born with it. You were clearly born with a gift. At what point in your life did
I realize I walked in it? I would walk in it?
Yeah.
Probably after my senior year, I was still drawing or whatever, but I was going to a school when they closed it because of the Gulf War, and I came back to Brevard Community College, which is in Central Florida. When I came back, there's a guy named Ron Hill. He was over African American Studies or something like that. And he was a substitute teacher one time. And he was in the art class. And I was sitting in the back and I was joking with some dude. And he was looking at the art that was on the table because we had to do our homework, whatever. And he kept looking at my stuff. He said, "Who is this guy?" And he said, "It's Don here." And I used to sign Don, like Don Parker. And now everybody that I went to high school, even to this day, they don't call me Adonis, they call me Don Parker because I was like one word. I was ashamed of Adonis, but because I connected that with art because it's kind of like poetic, Adonis, poetry, whatever. I kind of like, I was trying to shy away from that, kind of keep that,
You're trying to be tough.
Well, I was never trying to be tough. I was always tough.
All right.
Yes.
Tough.
But I was, turning the volume down to,
Yes.
And he said, "Son, that's a beautiful name." He said, who is Don? I said, I'm Don. He said, "You do nice work." He said, "But why would you sign your name like that?" He said, "You have a beautiful name." He said, "Adonis." He said, that's an artistic name. And then everybody in the class, like, started laughing. I was like, nah, I'm good, man. Good.
That's how it happens right there.
Right.
They
right
start
there.
laughing at you, and immediately you're like, this is bad. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You hide it. You have to hide it because they're laughing at you.
So at that moment, you went from Don
To Adonis.
to Adonis.
Yeah. He told me to start signing your name on your stuff as Adonis. As soon, I know it's gonna sound crazy. As soon as I signed my name, Adonis, I had, nope. This is the weird part. Nobody knew me, but it was fascinating. They didn't know because I was using Don Parker all the time. Nobody knew my name was Adonis. Then when I graduated, I started signing Adonis. Then it was like, yo, my homeboy's like, man, my girl was talking to this guy. You gotta look at this dude's work. I said, what was his name? He said, Adonis.
But it also means that you were ashamed of
I was ashamed of the name
of
for a long time.
Adonis.
Yeah, I was
Meanwhile,
ashamed.
it's a great artistic name.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
And it's a
name, I
great
know.
name. Adonis was a beautiful Greek god.
Before that, it was in the Old Testament, the Israelites, it was Adonai, that's what the Hebrew Israelites used to call God in the Old Testament. Yeah, so they took that, the Greeks got a hold of it, took it, did a remix, and then
And now
know,
it's you.
yeah. But I'm spelled with, and I tell people all the time, I'm spelled with 2 D's, so I'm the original.
So
Yes,
you embraced your art at that point.
yes. Still skeptical, but kind of like I didn't jump straight into it, but things started changing. Like, once I accepted my name, certain people start looking at me different. Then you become a young man. There's certain things that you have to face alone and accept, and also accept what you're not and what you don't have, and live with that. And the world reminds you of your mistakes. They remind you of you're not a perfect person. Yeah, and I think art was kind of the reason why I embraced it even more, because it's a place that I could go. When I was a kid, I could go hide. You know what I mean?
Like another world.
Right. But I could control that world.
Yeah.
I could be the Superman in that world. You know what I mean? So that's what art, that I turned my back on it. Yes, I did, which I was really turning my back on God. And
What do you mean?
because God, he blessed, he gave it to me.
He gave you the gift, you mean?
My mom kept pushing it. You got to keep writing, Adonis, got to keep doing this. And I just, I didn't, I always wanted to keep it. I said, okay, maybe I can go back to it. But when God gives you a gift, you got to add on to it. You got to keep,
You gotta be grateful,
Yeah,
accept it, and be grateful and use it.
right.
Remember
and then-
parable of the talents?
Yes.
If
the
you
10
don't use your
talents,
talents,
He
you'll
buried
get
it in the
those ta-
earth,
yes.
and then the guy,
Exactly.
he gave that 1 talent to the guy with the 10 talents. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, I
Because
know
you
that.
buried your talent, you didn't use
Right.
it.
No, I didn't bury it, but I put a cloth over it.
I feel like you
Yeah.
were maybe like you were
Yeah.
embarrassed to be a guy that looks like you, that everyone thought was going to be this athlete, but really you're an artist, and it's incongruent to being an athlete. And so,
Or at least people believe it's incongruent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
clearly
yeah.
it's
Not.
incongruent.
Yeah, I mean,
The world
not.
tells you
Yes,
it's incongruent.
yes,
Right.
yes.
Again, the
But
world
clearly
tells
it's
me-
not,
Yeah.
because you're
Right.
an artist and an
And an
athlete.
athlete.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when I go to different, when I first start doing shows down here for Art Basel, or especially in Miami, I didn't fit the criteria of an artist. I walked in there, everybody looked like kids. They down here, and I'm just, nobody knew who I was. The guy said, "Sir, you," and I had one guy just kept bringing me drinks and food for some reason.
Because you
I
look
guess-
hungry. Because you look hungry.
Maybe that could have been it. But my whole thing was, it was just like I was trying to fit in. And my mom told me, she said, son, I'll tell you something. One day you have a big frame, but one day you're gonna be somewhere, you'll have a job, you will be able to use all your talents in one job. Even your frame, all that stuff is gonna fit, because God has that for you. And I looked at my mom, I loved her, and I hugged her. And when I walked off, I said, she has to be out of her mind.
No idea what you're talking about.
There's no way I could find something like that. And art, what God brought to her and she brought to me in the beginning, is what saved me to this day. And it saved my life too.
I remember when I met you, Adonis. Did I ever tell you the story about how Adonis called my office and tried to pretend like he was my cousin so he can get me on the phone?
She never answered the phone.
There's,
Now I'm famous. So
now I want to be your best friend. But
Yeah.
I remember when I met you, and we
Yeah.
were we were both coming up in the world.
Yes, we were.
We were both coming up. And I always kind of got the sense that you were, that you were embarrassed for being this big person that didn't look like an artist, when clearly you're a fantastic artist. I remember you weren't sure, and the world wasn't giving you what your talent deserved. I remember we used to argue about Art Basel because they didn't have enough Black artists, and then slowly but surely over the course of time, people have looked at your art, and now you have massive respect. But at the time, really just based on how you looked, it had to be embarrassing because nobody thought you should be an artist, right? That's when I met you.
It was just in rooms. This is the thing. They could talk to me on the phone. Oh man, you're great. We love you. All this stuff. They could even see the work. But when the image, when the actual,
when you walked in the room,
when Bigfoot comes through the forest, I'm just.
Did they look around you?
Yeah, you can say it to yourself. But
they're like, "Where's Adonis? Get out of the way. Where's Adonis?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm Adonis."
I had a guy walk up to me as soon as I walked in. The lady gave me a pamphlet for the program, and the security guard tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Sir, listen, I'm not going to ask you again. I need you to leave." It was the security guard. Yeah, I said, I just got here. Then he goes to the back. It's another guy comes out, and he said, they're pointing at me, and I'm standing there. Then the host ran. He's like, "What are you doing? That's Addonis Parker." They was expecting, and I'm not talking about anybody's height or nothing like that, but I don't know why. But every time I get on the phone, "Oh yeah, all right, okay, we'll see you. Yeah, okay, can't wait to see you." They can wait to see me, because when I get there, it's just like it's
a whole different.
It's like. And I met this guy, and his mom was like 82. I walked up on him. He thought, he was like, "Is there a celebrity gonna come? Are you a bodyguard or something?" I said, "No, sir, I'm not." And I said, "I'm Addonis Parker." "Oh my God, you're Adonis. Oh, here's my mom." And his mom's way down there. And I had to bend all the way down there like that, and I took a picture with them. I think I shared that picture with you. You remember that?
Yes, I remember
very
that.
frightening. But
you have to like fold yourself.
Right. But I accept that because it's like I'm always going to be different. I always was different. I can't go to regular stores like you guys can go in there, pop in, get some shoes, a hat, whatever. I got to sit and contemplate about whether I'm going to stay in a yellow shirt. And then if I stay in the shirt, how much is that going to cost me? And then, I got to go, if I want this shirt again to look better than it looks, I got to go buy the shirt. Then how much is that shirt going to cost? My jeans, my pants, my socks. To get in the truck, I have to buy a truck that I can fit in. So people, there's so many people that don't understand. Tall people, we have our story, but then there's a backdrop to it, is that if I drop that book on the ground and you and I stand up, you can whoop, beep, do quick. I have to go through.
You have to take like an elevator down?
Almost. I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say that the atmosphere, the stratosphere.
Yeah. The whole weather changes.
Right. It's I don't know. It's a beautiful thing being big. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I could listen to this forever because it really is a wonderful story, mainly because it has a happy ending. It's not over, but we met.
Yes, we did.
You introduced me.
2014.
2014. You introduced me to my honey.
And I introduced her to you.
And
exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why the three of us are here
still,
together.
Yes.
Life is a circle.
Yes,
Life is a circle.
This.
And you're now artist in residence at the bank.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a big deal, Adonis. That's a big deal.
And you've painted all of our cards. And one of the my honey moments you painted for me was not that you were an artist, because that was when you were younger. But you told me that people were telling you to stop painting Black people.
Oh, yeah. When I first came down from Atlanta, because I was in Atlanta, I was a program director for the Butler Street YMCA in Atlanta. After I left Atlanta, I was in Atlanta for like 14 years. But when I left Atlanta, I came to Miami. And I'm thinking that, the artists, whatever, there were artists that were painting Black people. I went to this meeting, I think it was downtown Miami, and I showed some of my work. I didn't, pictures of it. I didn't have this is before the cell phone, the iPhone, and all that. And I showed him pictures. It's like the guy pulled me aside. He said, "Listen, I think you're going to be a great artist one day, but I think," now this guy was a Black man, I'm not going to tell you his name. He said, "I think you need to consider is that you're a big guy. You you don't smile a lot or whatever. He said, I think that your art should be the opposite of you. Yeah.
Because
Should
he
be.
was an artist?
No,
No.
he just was saying that I shouldn't paint dark skin. I shouldn't paint too many figures that are strong.
That look like you.
Right, that look like me. And he said everything should be happy. I should bring stuff with bright colors and stuff. But that wasn't me. I didn't grow up like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have bright, and I do have bright colors in my work to this day. And my work has brightened up, throughout the years. Suzanne, you remember I was gloomy, dark and gloomy.
That's what I'm saying. When
Yeah.
I met you,
Right.
you were gloomy. You
Right.
were
No smiling,
no
yeah.
smiling,
Yeah.
always annoyed, always pissed because people didn't recognize your talent. They didn't recognize your talent.
The story too behind it, I think.
They really didn't.
Yeah.
And look at you now, like started from the bottom.
Yeah, I'm still mad. But
Because that stuff stays with you.
It-
I mean, when those kids laughed at you, it's not like all of a sudden
yeah.
I can hear the laughter when the kids
Yeah.
laughed at me. I'm sure you can still hear
Yes,
the laughter,
yes.
and it's still somewhere in the back of your mind. But you turned that whole thing into a superpower. You
Yes.
did.
I think that you have to get to a point to where the confidence level, you got to realize that first of all, to get past all that, you have to realize that you are a human being with worth before you become a superhero. You're a human. That's what I had to do. That there's a lot of dark things I had to fight. On my way, I was fighting as a black man. I was fighting as a father. It was so many things I had to bury, and God delivered me from that. And the doors that were open came open through art that I'll also believe in myself and help my kids and my family. And yeah.
What's the message that you are sending through your art?
Trust God at all times. He's in every aspect of your life. I know sometimes it gets dark, but he is the bright light. He is that soft-spoken word to tell you to be steadfast with your faith and keep going with your faith and be strong and don't give up. That's the main thing about not giving up, because God is everything to me, but God is everything, And I had to learn that. I knew that. I grew up in the church. My dad was a minister, mom evangelist, but I had to understand that was a part of my fabric, even if I turned my back on it. Every time I turned this way, God was here. I turned away, even if I want to turn away from him, he was still there. So apparently he wasn't going nowhere. So I had to
he's not
eventually,
leaving.
I got to deal with him. Now I have
He's
to
not
deal with him.
leaving. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm here.
It's not like a mafia thing, because he'll give you a choice, but everywhere that I would turn,
You'd be right there.
Yeah. Even when I was out there, I remember, trying to be cool, kicking it out there with the fellas. This is a clean version of it. And he was there. I had a guy, I remember one time me and this guy was talking, we was out there, we was in the street, 3:00 in the morning, bum walks by, he said, listen, and I said, okay. And I told the guy, I said, I guarantee he's gonna ask you for $5. We was betting to see how much he was gonna ask, right? The guy said, listen, he says, son, you're gonna be famous one day. He said, stop playing, and he walked off. And I said, yo, hey, you
Don't you want this $5?
Yeah.
I have a bet that you're going to ask me for this money.
So me and my friend looking stupid, 3:00 in the morning, it was cold in Atlanta. He just looked at him and he thought, he's just joking. But when the man told me, it's like he spoke through my whole jacket. The temperature changed everything. My friend didn't know that I was changing inside. He didn't know that. And I didn't let him know that. Again, I was ashamed of, but still, when he said that, I don't know why, but the way that man said it, I believed it.
Because he believed it.
Yeah.
And he
but he didn't
believed
even
in
know me.
you.
I never saw that man. I never saw him. He just, woo, and boom.
Because God told him that, you know what I mean? Like, God
Matrix.
showed up
Yes.
in that man.
Yeah. And that happened to me a lot. It
All the
always
time.
happened to me. Yeah. So that was another thing too. Like I said, every time you turn, you want to, God bless you with something, whatever he bless you with, you can never be normal until you use it and put it to use. And that's why a lot of people, a lot of high anxiety, they don't know what to do, they don't know what tomorrow holds, even though that's not even our concern. But when God gives you a talent, it's going to it'll burn a hole in you before it burn out.
If you don't use it.
Yeah. And that's why people, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Oh, maybe I want to do this. I want to be an astronaut. No. You sound like an astronaut, but it's the talent that he instilled. And that's why you got to remain and stay connected to God's Wi-Fi. That's how you download
That's interesting.
your gifts. You know what I
Way to
mean?
look at it.
And it's all free. Yeah.
So, well, first of all, I don't want to end your what are you saying to people in your art. I want to
Yeah.
make sure that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that any other, I mean, that's a powerful one, that God is in your life
Mm-hmm.
and in all of our lives.
Everywhere.
But is there anything else that you feel is communicated through your art?
I can't be nothing but who I am. Blackness.
And proud of it?
Yeah. Just I'm a servant. My art, just I've given some away. I've done stuff for people and all that. I look at it as a means to almost like a pulpit, you know, or a platform. That okay, you won't listen to me, you won't listen to my voice, whatever, but I'll make you hear me. I can yell without screaming. I always say that. And especially if it's a message I think that God wants me to convey to a group or to the world. It's just sometimes I go in that space. You know what I mean? And to me the message is more than anything, Teri, is love. And that's what brought all of us together. That's what made us who we are. And that's how we started, you know? And with the mural project, with the children
With the
and all
children?
that. Yeah, that's how we started. And I think that's how I want to end, you know? I don't care about not having a legacy. I just want, God forbid, you know, because we all, you know, may see that day, but I don't care about is Adonis going to be, he's a great artist, whatever. I don't care about that. I want people to say that I actually love people and they can remember me loving somebody and, you know, and they want to repeat that, you know what I mean? And have that transcend into my children, and my children we give to the poor, we feed the hungry and all that. And that was the main thing that I think that the gift that God gave me that I gave them, that I really want them to, you know, that to, you know, be kept and to this team here is just like we give others stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Suzanne she snuck me cookies sometimes at events.
Because I know you're hungry. Because
Exactly.
I know you're greedy.
Yes. And Mr. Teri, I don't know how many times you fed us, man. Just you gave me that extra hamburger and covered it up. Like, yeah. But that's what love is about. And then when you can work around a group of people and be happy, that love has to shine through somewhere to do that, to keep a smile on your face. Because the Bible says love covereth all sin. And when you actually know how to exercise that in every attribute in life, I don't care what you are, I can be a police officer, basketball player, whatever, a stylist. When you have love behind that, nobody can ever tell you that you finna go to work. And nobody can ever tell you that even on a rainy day, the sun will always be out. Because that's what love do. When you take love from a person or anyone, it's almost like a part of their spirit is gone. They exist without existing. And some people are dead men walking because of the absence of. And they don't know how to love someone. That's why we are here to teach them, not with this, but like you said, extra cookie at the event.
Paintbrush.
Right, paintbrush, all of that. Hamburger with the napkin over it. She's fed me like secret little plates on the side all the time, and she knew I was hungry, and so did you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
You're greedy.
what comes from that is the compassion and the caring. And also, another thing that I found out, most women like you guys are wonderful women, but you're mothers. And that's the extra type of heart that you have.
Nurturers.
Nurturers. And you can't buy that in Walmart. You got to have that. And then when you feel for another individual, just like the fathers, you feel for another individual, then you could share that, you know, and then they share it. Yeah.
So, I mean to interrupt you, but what you're making me realize is when I went from that journey from Indiantown to Brown and start to feel ashamed of being from Indiantown, is because there was a lack of love.
What do you mean? What does that
There was a
mean?
lack of love at Brown. There was a lack of love.
Oh, you mean people at Brown didn't have love?
for me?
For you? Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, you're like, yeah, of course. But it was like, that's what it was.
Mhm.
It was like I didn't feel the love. Like I was coming into an environment and without even knowing who I was. It wasn't based on, it was based on what I looked like. It was based on what you looked like. It's like people were not looking at us for who we were. And so, yeah, when I got there, I did not feel love. And it's funny because, this is about you, but
No,
you're
this
just
is-
making
yeah.
me think of this,
Mhm.
is that I remember my first year, my freshman year, I took this English class and, it was like this creative writing class. And I wrote this story about the fact that it was too gloomy in Providence and I was really being emotionally impacted by it because I didn't feel the sunshine. And this was before they realized that sun does help your moods.
Yeah.
And I remember my professor was like, what is this you're writing about? It doesn't make any sense. But now I know metaphorically, I was not feeling the love that I felt when I was in Indiantown. So we didn't have any money. We didn't have all the money that they had, but we had
time.
You
love.
had love.
We had love. My great-grandmother, my grandmother, my parents loved me. And I didn't feel any of that. And that's what you bring. That's what you bring to the bank. It's not just your work. It's not just your painting. It's not just that you're an artist in residence. People feel the love. They feel, our team feels the love from you.
You can also look at your work, Adonis. Yes.
They do. They feel it.
They
They
feel
feel it. And
love.
you tease and I'm surprised that this has gone this nicely without you saying something smart to us. Because that's what you usually do.
That's what you usually do.
I'm looking at you like
You're on
I'm
your
waiting.
best behavior.
I'm waiting for something to come out.
No, I was just going to say that that even when I love a lot, and when I come in here, sometimes I bring food, and by the time I get up to my office, it's gone. So,
Or people come to your office and
yeah, they
ask for me.
run right through it. Yeah.
But that's it. That's your gift. It's art. It's love.
Yeah.
And people want to take care of you. I look at you and I'm like, oh, because you're so special. Like you're such a yes, you're special.
Okay.
Like you're special in the special way, but you're so special. You're so special to me that I'm like, I want to bring you stuff. I want to hug you. I want to help you. Because I know how much it takes to be you. You know what I mean? And the
Yeah.
fact that I look at your art and I'm like, how? And that's the other thing. I go like, how does that even come out? How does it come out of this frame when it does? You know what I mean? And so that's one of the reasons that I love you is because I have so much respect for your embracing the fact that you are artistic when you did not have to do that. You could have easily gone and played football.
You got a regular job.
And got a regular job and go, well, back in the day when I could play,
You
all
could have
that.
quit.
You could have quit.
You could have quit.
You could have let those kids laughing at you. You could have let them won. You could have been.
You could have,
down.
when you came
Yeah.
to Miami and they said you should do something else, you could have quit. You could have quit. You could have quit.
You could have been somewhere right now. I wish I was an artist. If only I had listened to my mother and my talent. But you embraced it.
If you hadn't been laughed at or been made to feel uncomfortable being an artist, would you be different today?
If I would have embraced it earlier, I think the road with the broken glass and the rocks, with the part of a dead, carcass possibly, mud, all that. I think that road, that I want that one, the one I did, the one I had rejected myself because yeah, I've been through a lot. This is more to the story to Adonis even before the art. I still wanted, I wanted to be I'm not saying I wanted to be, but I thank God that I took that road. I was rejected because what comes out of pain is it's a certain type of hidden fire when you know how to recycle it. Some people spin out, they crash out. But when you take that type of pain and you use it almost like solar energy, like a solar panel, and you take that and you put that and you regenerate that and you redirect that into another aspect of your life, that becomes fuel. That becomes the time when you self-motivation have to kick in when nobody's appreciating you, when the lights are cut off, everybody's gone home, and you sitting there, you have no money. That's when when you by yourself, you talking to God, when there's nothing working. You have no vehicle, let's say you having problems at the house, all this other stuff. You're low on funds, you get your bills, evictions coming up. That is when that fuel is important. And you can sit there and the worst, I'll say this, the worst lie you can tell is the one you tell yourself. And the lie I told myself was like, oh man. Shoot. I told myself that oh man. Oh shoot. Adonis, she's so crazy. So crazy. I told myself that I want to make it to 25 and I'll be dead. I just tell myself that. Yep.
You double that now.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
You doubled it +3.
Yeah, +3. Made it 53. Thank God. Oh man. Just keep remembering it. Sorry about that, but I remember I used to say that to myself, kept lying to myself, telling me I wasn't gonna make it. I used to say that for a lot of reasons. And it's crazy. I look at my kids now, and it's so funny that uh, they say stuff to me. They don't even know that they're reminding me. Oh man, sorry, reminding me that I should live. You know, yeah, so crazy. That's why I said don't do more than 5 minutes. I'd have been straight.
We're here and we love you.
Yeah,
We love you.
We love you.
My glasses are falling up.
We love
Sorry
you.
about that. Y'all, please forgive me.
No,
It's
no,
okay.
it's
Oh
okay.
man, why didn't we think about that? But yeah, that was tough. But I would rather take the road, the less traveled, because and I used to think there's so many things that I lost, but I gained so much because God was stripping the negative away from me, and I was holding on to the negative. And I'm thinking that was my lifeline when I was actually holding poison and holding things that were harming me. And God took that, He was taking it away from me, and He made me stronger by stripping me and me facing my fears and my insecurities and anxieties. Uh, and like I said, it hurt uh, during the time it was happening, but God, He brought healing, He brought deliverance, and He brought justice to me because I didn't like myself for a long time. But I thank God that He chose me to be the type of artist that I am. I'm not ever, I don't care about being the greatest or nothing. And I don't even care about respect of being an artist. Uh, I just want my message, whatever He has for me to say to the world, that's what I want. And that's it. And that's my whole purpose of my life. And me to be who God wants me to be, because if in that case, I'll be a great father, a great friend, a great brother, a great Black man, a great everything. But I would have to take His instructions first before anything. And I'm happy to be alive. And I'm happy I didn't believe the lie that I told myself years ago. and I'm happy to be here. And I'm sorry it has to end like this.
I think it's easier to tell yourself those things. I think it's just easier to believe all that stuff. Like, it's just easier than having to be like, I am good, I am strong, I am a badass. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I've been there. It's just easier to feel terrible. It's just easier to sit there and wallow and feel bad and go, you're never going to be anything. You're never going to get anywhere, because it's just easier as opposed to getting up and going somewhere and being something. It's hard because it's hard. Because you like facing the fact that you're amazing is difficult. I think it's difficult, especially for somebody who, you know.
So Adonis, first of all, thank you for being you. Thank you for giving me the gift of my honey. The show wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for you pressing me on who I am. So thank you for that. I know I've said that to you over and over the years, but I want to say it again. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your wonderful story. You're such a gifted artist, and your art is a blessing. You are a blessing to all of us here at One United and the world. How many times have we been in Times Square? I mean, many.
A lot of times.
A lot
12,
of times.
A
12.
lot of times.
12.
12. He remembers.
Yes,
He
yeah. Your art is just amazing. It's three-dimensional. It's two-dimensional that looks three-dimensional. You just feel like you want to touch it. You can feel the soul. You can see it in the eyes. I mean, I can go on, but I want to give you your flowers. I want to give you your respect.
Yeah.
Right here, right now.
And I would like to say that the Adonis that's here now, I think back to that Adonis where we met many, many years ago at Miami Gardens, and you were so down on yourself, and you were so down on what was possible, because it looked like Miami was not going to give you a chance. And I look at you now and what you've accomplished. And the most important thing that you've accomplished is not feeling like that anymore. That's actually the most important thing that you've accomplished, is you've gotten to this point, and you know your faith in God has been renewed, and your talent has been appreciated, proven, and you know, it's now out in the open. People are no longer questioning your talent because of they think an artist looks, you know, is supposed to look a certain way. And so I am proud of you, Adonis, because I knew you before Teri knew you.
Yeah.
And we both had darkness.
Yes, we did.
We both had darkness
Sure
because you know, to fight and to continue to believe in yourself. So I just want to say I am very, very proud of you. I love your art, and I'm just proud of you. I'm proud of where we've both come, and I'm really proud of where you've come as an artist.
I'll never forget it. I mean, the struggle was real.
The struggle was real.
We're here, we're happy. We may never be perfect, and that's why I had that thing in my art show. Perfection will never be a true attribute of man. Submit yourself to God. That's my quote.
Yeah, it's like going after something that doesn't exist.
Right.
I mean, who wants to be perfect? I don't.
And I also want to thank you for the people that are going to be inspired when they hear your story, hear who your My Honey was. Because there's a lot of, especially young people out there, where people are saying, you know, you can't be an artist, or you can't be an artist and an athlete, or you can't be an artist, a visual artist, a poet and an athlete. I mean, you got to choose, or
you can't
who
be
are
yourself.
You really?
You can
or
be
you
all
can't
three.
be yourself.
And that could truly
exactly.
be you.
And that could truly be you. And so I want to thank you for all of them, from all of them. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Suzanne and I would like to thank our executive producers, Kobe Proctor, Anya Mendoza, and Jessica Hurley, as well as the entire One United Bank, Circle of One Marketing, and Epic Media team. The Who's Your My Honey show was created in collaboration and produced by One United Bank and Epic Media. Recorded at the Hive Studio, this series is to amplify stories that transform undeserved shame into superpower. the resilience and leadership skills needed to build generational wealth and economic empowerment. If this conversation moves you, share it, subscribe, and join our community. Thanks.